got a strawberry sunshine highlight to her hair, and a yellow and blue hat for the cold air. She drinks a lime seltzer in a pint glass, but there's too little to share. But her eyes tell me she loves me, so I don't really care. If it's too long, she'll cut the candle wick and leaves the matches she used by the sink. She got a strawberry sunshine highlight to her hair, and a yellow and blue hat for the cold air. She puts her flowers in a coffee can and drinks a seltzer she won't share. But her eyes tell me she loves me, so I don't really care. So I don't really care. So I don't really care.
Hey yo, hold on one sec. We made it to the Detour 3. I'ma do something different, then I'ma come in with the rap shit. Alright. Hey. And I've been watching everybody doubt for every single level since I came up. And I know they still waiting on the downfall, so y'all can keep all of the fake love. Started out, but I hopping in the mix, I've been doing it again, and I'm waiting for the pit stop. I'ma put it on the tuck and on the top, like I'm happy in recovery, and homie, I don't miss shots. Ain't no misstops, about to lift off, I run that shit like a Testarossa. This hard hop gang, I'm popped off, but it's just us leading, I'm like Costa Nostra. Now get your hopes up, we back all in it. Really shit in this game, my gimmick. Now I'm paid some, and I ain't changed one bit to fit in with the label of the critics. Like, no, y'all gon' need more than some stupid comment, hate to stop me. D1, D2, D3, killed it, bitch, I run this team, I'm Bombay. Got respect, no opiates, but I rock a set till I'm feeling high like it's the greatest drug. I just did the work, I don't manifest. I'm like man of steel with no kryptonite. Got no chance to skip the fight. I gave all that I got to the songs I write. I feel bad for y'all that don't get the hype. Still like you feeling like maybe these people that hated it right. Like I just got lucky and all that I built could be gone overnight. I gas up the ego with all of the talk, how I do it myself. But I don't wanna say when it really fucks up all the mental health, cause oh, that's too real, let me step back. Where's the bars with the girls and the checks at? Never got into the game, try to get stacks. But if you got a couple fans, let me get them. With the nerd rap, emo skate shit, a home run now, but to run the bases. I put the work in on the night and day shift. The fuck fame, I just wanna reach some greatness. I'm so impatient, I'm uncontrollable. I don't listen to no one, yeah. Fuck a label, it's independent detour, and I just do what I want. Vegas represent, you're in resident. Check the evidence, I don't trust anyone. So the circle small, I'm only involved with the ones I love. Y'all still don't acknowledge how I move, you must be blind. Am I at the end of just begun, I can't decide. Failure just a training for success, it's in disguise. Found that out and started cutting ties, yeah. Always felt like I didn't fit, but right now I see gangs of people who listening all around the world that I feel like me. Fuck the clout, cause I'm here for y'all, I swear this success is mostly yours. So welcome back to the Detour. Yeah, king of the I never thought he would do it, they're about to be crowning me. This is like Marvel, the way they anticipate everything that I've been dropping undoubtedly. Block of the haters, the fam and the friends and the fans have been here for the journey, you're proud of me. Running this shit for so long, got the stamina, now I'm just burning these bitches like calories. Looking around at these people who doubted me, now they all wanna be acting like friends. Keeping it real and we finished the trilogy, I don't know if I'll be back here again. I never imagined we make it this far, and I'm still feeling like I got nothing to lose. I waited a while, but I'm finally comfortable, guess it just took me a minute to bloom. And I just hope that road will finally take me home, cause I've been waiting such a long time to feel my soul. I just hope that road will finally take me home, cause I've been waiting such a long time to feel my soul. And I just hope that road will finally take me home.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the first time in a very, very long time. Podcast is back. So, let's recap what has happened. I was working 3 jobs. I planned a wedding. I got married. I moved. I went on my honeymoon, and then settled into my new life. And so now we're here. So it's been a while. This is Joe. Joe, you also moved.
I also moved.
You got a new job.
And a new job.
It's a lot.
Oh, in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
as much as you though.
Well, yes and no. Like, my stuff was a little more spread out.
Yeah.
In a month span, we're probably sitting about at the same.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, okay, I wanted to get this episode in today and kind of last minute because the NFL season is coming up, and I want to cement my predictions in so that people can either clown me for getting them very wrong, like I did with baseball, which we'll get to in the second half of this, or I can look like a genius because I got them all right. So, that's the plan today. Kind of a quick episode. Get through NFL predictions, look at teams, look at standings, all this kind of different stuff. It's actually going to go pretty quick. And then we'll break down the MLB season, this chaotic, ugly, stupid MLB season that we've seen in the second half. So, you are way more of a baseball guy
Yes.
than anything else.
And you're way more of a football guy.
Yes, that's true. So, for this one, feel free to ask questions, poke and prod at me as I make these predictions. So, okay, here we go. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to bring back the old trusty tier maker that I always bring up. I've forgotten how to do this. There we go. Boom. Yeah, look, there we are. We're down there. So, AFC West, AFC North. So this isn't like a who I think is going to be. In the past, I've done like, if you're at the top of the tiers, then you're the best. This is just going to be where I think they rank in their standings. First being on the left, fourth being on the right. So, we'll start in the AFC West. So I need Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, and where's the Broncos? Right there. So this one is one of the easiest ones. It's going to be that right there. That's going to be the standings. Now, I do want to give a injury clause to my predictions. So I will make an initial prediction and then also have an injury prediction. This prediction holds true as long as nothing happens to Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce.
Right.
If something happens to one of those two, it's going to quickly become that.
Okay.
They're still making the playoffs, I think. But this is my official prediction with the injury clause being the Chargers taking first. But I don't think the Raiders have anything.
What if Russell Wilson gets injured?
Then it's that.
Yeah.
The Broncos suck. Like, yes, they got Sean Payton to come be their head coach again, but they don't have good positions. Like, their receiver just got hurt. Patrick Surtain, which is one of the best corners in the NFL, just got hurt. I don't know if they have what it takes to win, especially in the AFC. The AFC is juggernauts. Like, they have the Chiefs, the Bengals, if you want to consider the Jets, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Ravens. Like, it's just full of juggernauts, and I don't think that the Broncos have what it takes to actually compete this year.
But the Raiders do.
No.
Devontae Adams.
Okay, you have Devontae Adams, but who's throwing to
Josh
Devontae?
Jacobs.
Okay, you have Josh Jacobs. That's cool. Their tight end's gone. Waller's gone.
Yeah.
And who's throwing to Devontae Adams?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G until he gets hurt, and then... Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning many games.
Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, that guy. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super good.
His resume on the Texans is really good.
Yeah, AFC North, we need the Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. Where are they? Browns. So this is almost right. So the Joe Burrow question of is he going to be healthy to start the season is very interesting because he got hurt, and now how many weeks is he missing? Is he playing game 1? This is almost... That's what I believe it'll be, actually.
Okay, but hear me out.
Okay.
The Deshaun Watson resurgence.
So a lot of people are talking about Deshaun Watson. Can he return to Texans form? If he returns to the Texans form, like who he was when he played for Houston, or not Houston, for the Texans, then they have a chance.
Because the receiver core's not terrible.
And the rest of the team's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I will say the AFC North is the biggest wild card division. I could easily see, because of Joe Burrow's injury, he comes back, maybe not, then they miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I could see the Browns, Deshaun Watson being good and take him. I could see the Steelers being good enough to take the division. I don't think that there's a world where the Ravens live in first place in the AFC North, but they could easily take the playoffs. So the AFC North is the biggest wild card because you do have a lot of questions. Is Joe Burrow going to be healthy? Is Deshaun Watson, who is he going to be? Are the Steelers actually good? Is the Raven new offensive system going to work? It's a lot of questions, but if I had to organize it, I would end up right here. Bengals win it. Ravens still get into the playoffs. Steelers miss it by a little bit because, again, the AFC is so tough. So that I could see them being the 8th or 9th seed. You got to be 7 or above. And then the Browns being last. Because the other teams are so good.
Yeah.
So this could very easily be 11-6, 10-7, 9-8, 7-9, or 7 and 7-10. So I don't think they're gonna be horrible, but that's the AFC East is easy to me. The Patriots, and where are the Dolphins? It's right here. It's Patriots are last. New York Jets are missing the playoffs. Dolphins are winning the divisions. The Buffalo Bills will sneak in. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers' hype is real.
I'm a big Mac Jones guy.
You're a big Mac Jones guy. I'm a big
Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler. Definitely a Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler.
Definitely grittied in the Pro Bowl. I don't know if he has it.
No, not compared to the other quarterbacks in the division.
No. If you just go by quarterbacks, I mean, really, so far, that's how these are being ranked.
Yeah.
Like, so far, it just so happens Patrick Mahomes, Herbert, Wilson, Garoppolo, Burrow, Jackson, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. Josh Allen's better than Tua, so that one
Coming
fails.
from a Josh Allen hater.
I hate Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's better than Tua.
We'll see.
But the Dolphins team as a whole is so much better than
Yeah.
the Bills. The Bills have a top 10-ish quarterback, a top 5 receiver.
Well, one more
And that's it.
One more concussion and Tua might die.
That's true.
So.
Okay, so then again, that the injury thing that we're talking about, like, oh, if anything happens to Patrick Mahomes, there's a very real possibility that Tua goes down, and it just slides to this.
For life. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sure. But yeah, Tua gets injured in some way, shape, or form, and goes down to 3rd. Then it's very easily these two teams that are fighting for first / getting in. I don't think the Jets are going to be all that great. I think at the best they're a 10-win team.
Sure.
At the best. Buffalo, I hate with them. The AFC South is the worst division in football. Actually, no, that's not true because at least the Jags are there. It's the NFC South that is the worst division.
Is Gardner Minshew still in the Jags?
He might still be on the team.
Well, then they're a dark horse.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna win they're gonna go. They might have the first seed in the AFC because their division is so bad. Where are the other AFC South teams? Saints and
The Titans.
yeah, there they are. Thank you. And the Colts. Oh, they're already up there. So who am I missing here?
Texans.
So right there. That's it. That's the Texans. If they win a game, I'll be happy for them. The Colts, if they win 5 games, I'll be happy for them. Because I don't know what they're doing with Jonathan Taylor. It's kind of making me mad. So if you have a rookie quarterback, one of the number one things you want is a solid running back to be able to hand the ball off to keep the offense rolling if your rookie's struggling. So they have Anthony Richardson, who already people have a lot of questions about, and they're making Jonathan Taylor mad. And do they want to trade him? Do they not? Whatever. Like, no, at least keep him for this year to, let your rookie quarterback develop in the NFL a little bit. I don't know. But then the Jags are going to be... The Jags might There we go. The Jags might very well have the best record in the AFC by the end of the season. Because they have 6 free wins right here.
Yeah.
And that team's pretty good.
What if Derrick Henry returns to...
Hops?
Yeah.
And they have D-Hop now?
Yeah. I mean, your quarterback is still Ryan Tannehill.
Or that guy that puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yeah.
That just got drafted that I can't remember. Levis? Is that his name? Will Levis?
Levis.
Yeah, Levis. I think they could make... See, here's the thing. I think the locks for the playoffs, outside, if we're saying no one's getting injured this year, the locks for the playoffs are the Chiefs, Chargers, Bengals, Dolphins, Jags. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then the rest of these teams, I think, are fighting for 2 spots. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Titans do pop and Derrick Henry does return to what he did a couple years ago, then they're in that running. But they're also going against the Bills, the Ravens, the Jets, and then maybe another AFC North team. Mm-hmm. So I think those last 2 spots, it's just going to be a bloodbath. These are going to be your division winners. The Chargers are going to have 11-plus wins, and then it's going to be the rest of these guys fighting for those last 2 spots. And then I think that's how the AFC checks out. NFC West is very interesting because I think a lot of people assume the 49ers are just going to absolutely roll. Where are the Cardinals and where are the Rams? I think a lot of people assume that 49ers are absolutely going to roll, but I think the Seahawks are taking the division. I think they're taking the division. I did that little thing where I picked every single game of every single week, and at the end of it, the Seahawks had a 1-game lead over the Niners in the division, and they were the number, 2 seed for the NFC.
So Geno Smith is going to carry the Seahawks to the top of the division?
Geno Smith had a better passer rating last year than, Joe Burrow and Josh Allen.
You're lying.
I'm not. He had a better passer rating than those guys. He's not great, but he's pretty good. And the rest of the team is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I trust Geno more than I trust Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I think people are going to figure out Brock Purdy, and by week 3, the Niners are going to go, oh no, we traded Trey Lance. like that. The Niners are poorly run.
But then you have Deebo Samuel throw the ball because he can do everything.
And you have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And you have Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
And you have the defense.
And George Kittle.
I'm not comfortable with this pick. I'm not comfortable with picking the Seahawks over the Niners. Let me just say that. This is strictly a quarterback pick.
Well, I'm uncomfortable.
You're just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is strictly your 2 quarterbacks are Brock Purdy and the worst quarterback in the league in Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking the Seahawks over them. But if this happened, I wouldn't blink an eye.
But Kyler Murray stops playing video games.
Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, okay.
Then,
Do you want to know the situation the Cardinals are actually in for the next 3 years?
Purgatory?
No. They have their own pick.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams is coming out of college this year, out of USC, as the best quarterback prospect I've seen since Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck. The dude is phenomenal. They have their own pick. You know who else's pick they have for this upcoming draft? The other team that might not win a game. So they're going to have 2 top 3, top 4 picks. Plus, if you do get number 1, you take Kyler Murray and say, does anybody want to give us a late first, early second round pick?
So you got 3 first-round picks.
And then if you do get the first, you take Caleb Williams. And then whatever one you get from the Texans, Marvin Harrison Jr. is coming out. And so now you have a premier quarterback in terms of what everybody thinks he's going to be. One of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen in a very long time in Marvin Harrison Jr. And then a third pick that you can get for trading Kyler Murray to get a defensive presence. And now you're in a actual great situation. And then the Rams are only getting worse. The Seahawks magic juice will run out. And then it's going to be you versus the Niners.
Are the Seahawks the guy that drafted the guy with one arm?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, was it?
One hand.
Oh.
He still had his arm.
That's right.
But yeah. My favorite clip ever is on that Madden that came out that next year. Someone recorded a clip of that guy getting called for defensive holding, and they're like, "Nah, I don't think so." Anyway, all right, NFC North. I think a lot of people. Hold on, I'm just gonna put everyone where they are. Why the Cowboys are in the NFC East is beyond me. By the way, it pisses me off the way that exists.
Yeah. I would agree.
Who's the last South team? There we go.
Wrong one.
Huh?
The Commanders are in the East.
Yeah, sorry. So, okay. The North is the Lions winning the division. The Packers are getting into the playoffs with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I'll call that right now. Everyone is so, in love with the Bears. They're like the trendy underdog pick this year.
Because of Justin Fields.
Yeah. And everyone's like, he's going to win MVP. He's going to win it. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a sub-500 team. The Vikings are going to slide backwards.
With Kirk?
And Justin Jefferson.
But Kirk is drippy.
Okay. He's got the new facial hair thing.
Oh, does he?
Maybe. Okay. The Bears are not making the playoffs. I could see a world where the Vikings sneak in over the Packers, and maybe Jordan Love isn't who we think he is. So actually, let me retract this. The Vikings aren't going to be in last. The Bears will. And it's going to be a battle between the Vikings and the Packers. I'm going to go with...
The Vikings and the Packers?
For playoffs.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson.
I was also.
I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson as probably the best player in this division.
I'm only going to go with the Vikings because I can't name a single person outside of Aaron Jones and Jordan Love on the Packers.
Yeah, I mean you're right. That's a good analysis.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson exists, so there. Cowboys are winning the East. The Eagles will get in. The Washington Commanders are going to suck, and I'm sorry to say this, but the Giants.
See, what's actually going to happen is Daniel Jones is going to be Eli Manning reincarnated.
Sure.
And they're going to win 16 games.
If he's Eli Manning reincarnated, they're going to win 9 games and barely get into the playoffs, and then go win the Super Bowl.
And then they're going to defeat the undefeated
Chiefs.
Patriots.
Chiefs.
Patriots.
No. That would be so funny if the Chiefs go undefeated and the Giants somehow get to, and then they do it again.
Yeah. Oh, it's in their history.
Yeah. Twice.
Saquon.
Yeah.
They have no receivers.
No. And they don't have a quarterback.
Darren Waller.
Yeah, that's true. They did get Waller. I'm trying to figure out how I can fleece somebody to get Darren Waller onto my team.
Oh, really?
And then get like a good player for... Right now I have Travis Kelce on my fantasy team. I want to find whoever has Darren Waller, trade him for Darren, and then take their best player as well. So I can still get a tight end that's going to produce, but then I get a great player.
You're just a fleecer.
I'm trying to fleece somebody, yeah.
They have a good defense. So.
Yeah, but the Eagles have a great
Xavier
defense,
McKinney.
and the Cowboys have the #1 defense in the NFL. I'm convinced of it. Actually, it's between them and the Niners.
I want to throw up every time.
Yeah, me too. I don't necessarily like them, but I think they're winning the NFC East. I think they're the #1 seed at the end of the year.
Okay, but week 2, the Giants break Dak Prescott's leg again.
So then it's the Eagles up here, and then
the Giants.
The Giants gonna.
Don't forget, the Giants beat the Vikings in the playoffs.
That's true, because the Vikings don't have a defense, and that's why this is weird. I don't know who to put here. Because the Vikings have the offense, but they can't play defense. And the Packers have a pretty good defense, but we don't know what Jordan Love is going to be. NFC South is easy. Falcons are making it in. These three teams will sit in purgatory for a very long time.
Tom Brady comes out of retirement.
And goes to
The
Bucks?
Yeah, I guess.
They still are not good. Do you know they have like $90 million dead cap? Because they spent all their money and everything to win that one Super Bowl.
That's ridiculous.
They're in a bad spot. Saints are in a bad spot. They're not making plays.
Is Alvin Kamara in jail?
I don't know.
Okay.
I should look that up. You know who is arrested today? Julio Urias. All right, so NFC playoffs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's either the Vikings or the Packers that get in at 7. I will say the Vikings. So that's how my predictions go. Everyone, let's take the screenshot. I'm gonna screenshot this later. I'll screenshot the AFC and post it. I'll screenshot the NFC and I'll post it. And those will be cemented in. And then we'll review these at the end of the regular season.
Yes.
Now, remember, I'm going to look in the camera when I say this. Injuries are not factored in. So there is an injury clause added to this. Okay? The teams that I see injuries messing things up the most are obviously the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Seahawks, the Eagles,
Alvin Kamara's not in jail.
and the Cowboys. Alvin Kamara is not in jail. You heard it here first. No, probably not first. You heard it here
March 2nd.
on September 4th. He's not in jail. All right. So now we're going to go to baseball. We're going to take a break first. All right. So we're going to take a break. We will be right back. Scotty might know podcast, but Joe definitely knows podcast. Yeah, we're going to change the title maybe. I don't know. All right. Goodbye. All right, we're back. Joe, we're back.
We're back.
All right, we're going big screen on this one. We're talking baseball. All right. Now, you are definitely the baseball guy. So, here's the thing. Where do you want to start? Do you want to berate the Padres and then talk about the National League first, or berate the Yankees and then talk about the American League
I'll
first?
save my depression for last.
You'll save your depression for last.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means we're going National League first.
Okay.
First of all, the Braves are good.
Braves are good. Braves are unbelievably good. I saw a stat that said they have 180 balls hit over like 15 miles an hour?
Yeah, and
And
then
the next closest is like 80.
was it the Twitter post with like the long list of numbers?
Yeah, Codify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was insane. I don't know. I definitely don't know in the NL who's beating them.
In the National?
The Dodgers are actively falling apart every day.
Yeah, but they win games.
That's true.
They can be falling apart, but they win baseball games.
Okay.
If the Phillies,
Actually, they are getting hot out of nowhere.
and it's the same thing that happened last year. Trey Turner had like 7 home runs in 7 games.
That's true. If the Phillies start playing like the Phillies, not start. They've been playing like the Phillies for a little stretch now. If they keep that going, they're a great team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if the Mets win every single game in September,
then they still might not make it in.
It's a repeat of the Miracle Mets.
Oh my gosh. The NL Central needs to leave.
The NL Central might be the worst division in baseball.
Are they worse than the
No,
AL
that's
Central?
That's a lie. AL Central.
The Central teams, let's just put them in their own league.
It's just a battle between the Cubs and the Brewers.
Because who's got the wild card spot? I mean, right now,
spot right now.
Cubs have the wild card spot after the Phillies, which is weird to say. I thought the Cubs were going to be gone for a very long time after their World Series. I guess it's been a while.
7-8 years.
But I guess what I mean is, like, it took them a couple years to sell.
Yeah.
So they won it and thought, we can continue this.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't. And then when was the great sell of Chicago? Like 2 years ago?
Maybe.
Chris Bryant, Baez, Rizzo.
Yeah.
They got rid of everybody. I didn't expect them to be back in terms of contending for the playoffs this soon.
I mean, they don't have Stroman. I think he's injured.
Mm.
So it's just Justin Steele. And maybe Jameson Tyone. I think he's still pitching for them. I could be wrong on that one, though.
Yeah. And then the NL West.
Remember when you predicted the Padres to win your division?
I wasn't... Here's the thing, is it was the first time in my life that was happening at... Like, the majority of people thought, yeah, they're going to be good.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then they weren't.
Yeah.
I have never...
But you also, like, the Diamondbacks came out of nowhere.
Corbin Carroll, man.
It's not just Corbin Carroll.
I know, but...
As much as I'm like, his number one fan.
I would trade
The entire
anybody that is not named Tatis to Arizona. And any large number... Any quantity of people not named Tatis for Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, I would too.
All right.
It's not just Corbin.
So it's time to break down the horrible Padres. So yes, you're correct. When I made my baseball predictions, my favorites were the Astros, the Braves, Padres, and the Mets. So I got two of them right. I got two of them very, very wrong. And I really can't pinpoint the totality of what it is about the Padres this year. Because we'll get to the Yankees in a second.
I
but
think
at
it's
least,
personality.
But I think the Yankees are fighting for 500 at least, right?
I think they're a game behind now after sweeping the Astros.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think you have a lot of eccentric personalities with a manager that has no personality.
Are you talking about the Padres?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you have Soto and Tatis, who are both 24.
Yeah, they're young.
And some of the greatest baseball players on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a manager that every time they cut to him on TV is just... He just looks like that. Or he looks a little sad.
Well, it's because his team is 10 games below 500.
Yeah, but I don't even... plus, okay.
Also, you spent money in the wrong areas. That's also...
Yeah, we gave a contract... Listen. Place the blame where you want. I don't know if it's a majority... I think it's 33% on the players, 33% on the manager, 33% on the GM.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a full and true statement. Now...
Where's the 1%?
1% on... let's pick. We'll go 1% on Trent Grisham. He gets...
There we go.
The only player that gets an
Do you
extra
want to start
percentage.
with your favorite player ever?
Trent Grisham?
Yeah.
What do you mean start with him?
Because you keep a player that batted 184, 284, and 341 starting at center field.
Trent Grisham is my least favorite baseball player, maybe of all time. I know he's my least favorite Padre of all time. Because here's my thing with Trent Grisham. Have we had worse players on the Padres? Yes. But it was when we were horrible.
Yeah.
We were horrible. It was Chase Headley by himself. And then it was Will Myers by himself. And you had these Alexi Amaristas and Everett Cabreras and Ryan Schimpfs and all these dudes that are just kind of there to play baseball. We now have a team that can compete for the World Series for the first time in a very long time.
Since 1998.
You could argue like the Jake Peavy Padres. I would argue like 2004 era.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. And I think a lot of people believe something could happen in 2012 and there was no chance. But now you have a team that can actually compete, and we are being bogged down by this god-awful player in Trent Grisham. Like, was that his slash line from last year? 184?
Batted 184, OBP of 284, and slugged 341. Juan Soto had a higher on-base percentage than his slugging percentage.
And that's my issue, too, is a lot of people go, oh, Juan Soto, why would we give him an extension? Then, oh, why and then they're like, yeah, but we have to keep Trent Grisham because he plays defense, sort of, sometimes, when he wants to.
He's in the 95th percentile now.
That's awesome. I have a question for you. And it's pretty... You've played baseball your whole life.
Yeah.
If you have a pitcher that throws a perfect game because he has the best of the best defenders behind him, right? So we're talking, who's your favorite pitcher in the MLB right now?
My favorite pitcher in the MLB right now?
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Burns.
Corbin Burns is pitching, and we have the best of the best in terms of defense. But none of them can hit. You will never win a game. You will never win a game. You can have the best defensive players in the world, but if none of them can hit, you will never, ever, ever win a game. The best you can do is have a infinity length game where no one scores.
Yeah.
You will never win a game. You have to hit the ball to win the game. So that's why but his defense is... I don't care. The amount of times that he is struck out...
That argument's fine, the defense, if he's batting slightly below league average or at league average.
Because he's fighting to stay above 200 again this year.
He's in the sixth percentile on weighted batting average.
So let's take this then, right? 95th percentile, averaged out to 6th percentile. Mm-hmm. In what was it? Weighted batting average?
Yeah.
Let's just do quick math.
Which is 13 points higher than his.
95 plus 6 divided by 2. Wait, 95 plus 6 divided by 2. So that comes out to a 50.5 percentile overall player.
Depends what you consider average.
Yeah, I would be interested if you ran that stat across multiple players where they would end up on average. But if he was a 15th percentile, 20 percentile in weighted batting average, then I could see it. But he's awful at the plate. Awful. So get Trent Grisham out. He needs to go. He needs to be off this team by the next season. The Xander Bogaerts contract, I have no problem with him. I have a problem with the contract we gave him. We gave him a contract like he's Trey Turner, and he's not Trey Turner. He is...
Trey Turner at Fenway Park.
Yeah, Trey Turner at Fenway Park, right? He is a good hitter in the MLB, and he's a...
Slightly above average to average defender.
Yeah, average to, a little bit above average defender. But the problem is now you have 4 shortstops playing in the field at one time, right?
I don't think you can call Manny a shortstop anymore.
At one point in his career, he was. He's
point.
more of a
that's
third
the
baseman.
A-Rod conversation.
Yeah, that's an A-Rod, whatever. So let's even take him out. Now you have 3 shortstops. Yes, you have Kim at second. He likes playing there. It seems like Tatis is having fun-ish in right, but now you have Cronenworth at first, and when you put his numbers at first, his value plummets through the floor.
The Tatis thing, though, he's one of the best defenders in right field. With
So
above average production.
yeah, I think I would rather, even if Tatis you keep him right, I would have rather had Kim be our shortstop, Cronenworth be our second baseman, and then we go out and find our first baseman. Or Bob Melvin, if you want to be a good manager, tell Xander Bogaerts to start playing first base.
Or you just don't get rid of Brandon Drury.
Yeah, or Josh Bell.
Yeah.
Or, it really makes me... We were a team that was a couple games away from the World Series, adding Fernando Tatis Jr., and then we messed it up with this contract. And now we have him forever. He's 30 already, and we're just stuck.
Sorry.
Xander.
Oh, okay.
With this massive contract that doesn't help our team. And it's brutal. So Xander Bogaerts is, as a player, I hope he has a little bit better of a season. He's never going to be a player that lives up to his contract. But I hope he does better. I don't necessarily want him completely off the team. I'm just mad that we gave him that contract. Trent Grisham needs to be sent to the sun. Bob Melvin is bad at strategy in baseball. Baseball managers do nothing comparatively to other sports coaches in terms of during the game, right?
Yeah.
Football coaches are constantly calling plays. Everything that happens on the field, they're the ones calling it. They're the ones looking, dissecting, what is this defender doing when we do this, da-da-da-da-da. Basketball coaches are constantly watching the pace and calling out plays and watching how plays work against certain players and matchups and stuff. Baseball managers are watching the game and then go, maybe I should switch my pitcher out. But in terms of during the game, once the game starts.
Once you get to a high level of baseball, the calling, because coaches will call pitches up to a certain point.
Yeah. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, depending on the pitcher. You see sometimes catchers looking at the dugout. But once you get to a certain point, you're essentially just watching, and you're supposed to be managing and keeping guys, their heads in it and keeping guys motivated.
Well, that's what the bench catchers do.
Yeah, right? And just all this stuff. But the strategy that does exist, when you're supposed to walk a guy, Bob Melvin is historically bad since he's been on the Padres, has not once, like, in terms of when I've seen, like, oh, we should intentionally walk this guy right now. Like, when you're in extra innings at the Yankees Stadium, and they're the home team, and they're up to bat, and they have runners on second and third, and Kiner Falefa is up to the plate, and you have a sinker baller, and you don't walk him and put him on first so you have a force at home. Or last year against the Dodgers, and it's the bottom half of the inning, and the Dodgers are up in the ninth, or maybe in extra innings, and you have a man on second, or maybe he's on third now, and Freddie Freeman is up to the plate, and after him is a guy that was batting .9, or whatever with runners in scoring position, and you don't walk Freddie Freeman to set up a double play because you only have one out. Like, these little strategic things, and then continuing to do you have Xander Bogaerts' line? Can you find runner batting average with runners in scoring position? Is that a thing you can find on that website?
Quickly? Probably not.
He keeps putting Xander Bogaerts at 3, 4, 5, essentially in the middle of the lineup when people are on base, and he is one of, if not actually last place, of all qualifying batters for runners in scoring position. And again, people are like, he's a good manager. Then why aren't you making an adjustment? Put him at the top of the lineup. Put him at switch up something.
25th percentile average exit velocity.
Oh.
23rd percentile in hard hit percentage. 10 in sweet spot percentage. 70th percentile in chase rate.
70th percentile in chase rate?
75th percentile in whiff rate. 80 percentile in K rate. 8th percentile in batting run value.
He's, oh my gosh. And we keep putting him in the middle of our lineup.
Yeah, he's batting .266.
There's another one of my favorite Padre fans piss me off things. Is last year when my whole thing was we actually have a guy on our team that's batting under 200 and everyone's like, batting average doesn't determine about a player's worth. I'm like, okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Also, Padres fans, we hang our entire franchise on a player whose whole thing was batting average.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, all that, like, that's just, like
yeah.
peripherals.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, he's batting 266 and on base of 337 and slugging 406.
So, those are good numbers.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is his batting average with runners in scoring position is on the floor low.
Yeah.
And if you just put him maybe at the top of the lineup, so that, like, if your bottom of the lineup guys get on, then okay, he still has a chance to bring him in.
Yeah.
But now he's more of just, I'm going to get on base for the guys that can actually hit when there's runners in scoring position. That's where I think Bob Melvin can't figure it out. Why haven't you put Xander Bogaerts at first once this season? And why do you keep putting him in the middle of the lineup? I don't think he knows what he's doing when it comes to the strategy of baseball. I really don't. Anyway, that's enough Padres talk. Let's go to the AL, shall we?
We don't have to.
So we're just gonna look at these rankings first.
Oh, okay.
Baltimore's insane.
Yeah.
They were my dark horse pick.
Yeah, there are a lot of people's dark horse picks.
So it's kind of fun to see
They just
Baltimore.
don't really have pitching, unless your name is Kyle Bradish.
So for the first time in my life, Baltimore's good.
Yeah.
In terms of that, I can actually remember. So it's kind of fun to see that.
Remember. Yeah. No, they're a fun team to watch.
The Rays and the Blue Jays.
They have the rookie of the year on their team.
It's true. The AL Central is horrible. This is why I think MLB needs to start seeding like they do in basketball, where you just take the top 8 teams in the AL and the top 8 teams in the NL, because the AL Central and the NL Central are horrible.
No, they're doo-doo trash.
So the Yankees, as bad of a season they're having, they would be sitting
Third in the AL Central.
second.
Oh, is that 66?
They would be sitting second in the AL Central, 3 games behind the Twins.
Yeah.
And probably with a much better record because they've been facing these guys
And with
rather than these
with the
guys.
Yankees' strength of schedule the rest of the season, they would win that division.
Yeah. And then the Mariners. Hello? Astros?
Well, don't forget, they just got swept.
Are the Astros going to miss the playoffs?
They may.
So you
Well,
have
no, because you go to the wild
one,
card. No, the
2,
Astros.
3.
I think it's Rays, Rangers, and Astros is the wild card team.
Rays. Yes, Rangers, Astros, but the Blue Jays are on their tail. What if the Astros miss the playoffs?
I think the Blue Jays just got hit with some injuries, though.
What if the Astros miss the playoffs?
I would be ecstatic.
That'd be awesome. Anyway, all right. Break down the Yankees.
I don't know where to start. I think the biggest thing with the Yankees is that they sign people that can't stay on the field for more than 130 games in one season. As much as I hate to say it, Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Yep.
They just signed Carlos Rodon to 5 years or whatever, $80 million. He didn't come back until after the All-Star break. And then has a mid-4s ERA. And then on top of that, at that point, when everyone's back and healthy, they're so demoralized and old because you're playing Josh Donaldson at third base.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We sent him to the moon. But I think it was a slap in the face that needed to happen. Because I hate Brian Cashman, and I hate how he runs the front office. You can't tell me that a team that's borderline 500 is we're okay. This is the team we're going to take to the World Series, and then do nothing at the trade deadline.
So we have a running bet that Judge will never hit 60 again, and I personally don't think he is ever going to reach 50 again.
If he keeps the pace he's on right now.
We'll see, right? is there a side of you, not that he got a contract to stay with the Yankees, because I think that was obvious. Is there a side of you that looks at the length of that contract and is worried?
No.
Okay.
Worried? No. Like, maybe, but mad? No.
Okay.
Because, like, he had a historic season and deserved that much money.
Okay.
And everything he's done for the Yankees.
I also think he's...
Because he's not just a player, he's a clubhouse presence, too. And I know you can't pay someone that much money based on the clubhouse presence, but when he's on the field, he's the best player in baseball, and it's not even close.
Well, one thing that I think a lot of people forget about when you're looking at contracts is the revenue that player is bringing to your team.
Yeah.
You're not just paying them for the stats. You're paying them for their fame.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Steph Curry is getting paid so much. That's
Yeah.
why LeBron James gets paid so much. Is when you bring him to your team, the amount of national games, which for the Yankees really doesn't matter. You have your own network. You have all this stuff. But the national attention on your team when you can get a guy that like Judge. Like, I think that's why Ohtani is still going to get a boatload, because wherever he goes, there's going to be a lot of attention on, even with the pitching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And with Judge, you can DH him at some point in the future, and maybe he stops getting injured as much. Has he had a batting-related injury yet? Because he kicks a cement wall during fielding, because the Dodgers are idiots.
Who put it? I'm not gonna. He's had some oblique stuff, but I don't know if it's strictly batting related.
Okay. Anyway, you can DH him at some point. That'll keep him healthier.
Yeah. But
So.
when his defense is deteriorating, not when his defense is also
Still great.
amazing.
What would you... If you could only make 3 moves in the offseason
This
for the
offseason?
Yankees, what would it be?
Fire Brian Cashman.
Okay.
Send Brian Cashman as far away from Yankee Stadium as possible.
Okay.
I don't know if that counts, but
We'll go 3 player-based moves.
Player-based moves. Catcher, 100%.
Okay.
Catcher. Another starter. And left field. You gotta figure out left field.
I spelled that so bad.
That's okay.
So...
Oh, do spot track.
that was better.
Spot track.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you want to...
Yeah, there's Ohtani.
If you could sign Ohtani.
Yeah. I don't think...
There's 4 teams in the MLB.
If you had to
maybe
call
5.
it now, where is he going? You have to bring in the arm thing as well.
Oh, like him maybe getting UCL surgery?
Yeah.
I could see him going to the Braves.
The Braves.
Yeah.
You know what I was told about a month ago was the Mariners? Because they have such a big connection to Nintendo and Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
That, like, I could see it.
But he wants to win. And the Mariners are good.
Yeah.
But, like...
I think if I'm...
Well, it's sure as heck not going to be the Angels after they waved the white flag.
Yeah.
If I was Mike Trout, I'm asking to be
pissed.
traded.
Yeah. I think Mike Trout should have asked to be traded a long time ago. Padres! Go get him.
I don't want Marcus Stroman.
So you're looking at catchers, what you said?
Yeah.
So you've got Grandal. You've got no catchers.
No catchers. So I'm okay riding out Austin Wells to see how well he does.
You can go get Gary Sanchez.
Absolutely not.
He's having a great season.
Yeah, he waits 5 years to have one.
I hope the Padres give him another little short-term contract. We need to platoon the catcher
Just
position.
do a 1-year prove-it deal with him. Like, full season.
Yeah, keep him around for 1 more year with Campusano and let Salas continue to develop. And then trade Campusano at some point.
Can you go to the starting pitchers?
Starting pitchers?
No
Clayton
one
Kershaw?
really. No, there's nobody there.
No. Arias, but he's probably not going to be playing baseball for much longer.
He'll be in jail.
Yeah.
Adam Wainwright's like crippled.
42 years old.
Clayton Kershaw's gonna retire. Charlie Morton's like 38.
Yeah, dude, this free agent class is actually pretty bad.
What about left fielders?
Stay away from my left fielder. I don't know where he's designated for free agents right now. Oh no, he's not there.
I think he got one more year. Travis Jankowski.
No.
I'll take Tommy Pham.
Give me...
I want Cody Bellinger.
The Padres need to go all in on this man.
But then we'll beat you with money.
Okay. But who are you going to get this year that puts you above the Padres with Cody Bellinger and not Trent Grisham?
Our rookies.
Yeah, okay.
His name is The Martian.
Jason Dominguez is pretty good. Who are names that you were okay trading him for?
Trading like
Jason Dominguez for? Because I only have 2 names for Solace. 3 names for Solace.
like that I want in return.
Like if you traded Solace, if the Padres traded Solace, I would be pissed unless it was Acuna, Judge, or Ohtani.
I want a big lefty bat. Every historically good Yankee team has had at least 2 big lefty bats.
You know what the Padres need to do? Oh my gosh. I didn't even realize this.
You can grab Harrison Bader.
The Padres need to get both of them.
Both of them?
They need to sell. I don't care if we get a single A 42-year-old pitcher.
Aaron Hicks.
Shut up. I don't care if the Padres get a single A pitcher who's 42 years old. Get rid of Trent Grisham. We can get a bag of Lays back, and not even a full one. That's his value to me.
The air.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
air.
the wrapper. There might be a couple crumbs in it, but get rid of him. Go get these 2 guys, Bader and Bellinger, and then make Soto a DH.
I think Bellinger would have a way better career at Yankee Stadium than he would have.
Yeah, because you guys have a little league right field wall.
Short porch.
Mm-hmm.
Short porch.
Mm-hmm. That's what the Padres need to do. I've decided.
But
And then this is the other one I'm interested in. Is relief pitchers.
I'm okay with the Yankees relief bullpen.
Well, our bullpen is on fire.
I wouldn't mind
so
Joe Kelly in my bullpen.
I wish the Padres would just go get Joe Kelly and forget about it and just go.
Oh, don't you want Sean Manaea?
No. That's all
What
we
about
need.
Aroldis Chapman? I've heard he's blown 5 saves in his past 5 save attempts.
Really? Where? For who?
The Rangers.
There it is. Those are my Padres official moves. Those are my 3 player base moves.
Mm-hmm.
Bellinger, Bader, and then trade for bullpen. That's it. That's all you need to do.
3 Bs.
Yep. Bader, Bellinger, bullpen.
There you go.
Done. And then fourth B, fire Bob Melvin. Don't even fire Bob Melvin. Sue him.
Just lock him out.
Sue him
Just lock him out
for
of the
false advertisement. Oh, dude. I cannot wait for the day that Trent Grisham is no longer on the Padres and Bob Melvin is no longer on the Padres. I am going to cry with joy the day that those 2 are not on the team anymore. You already got rid of Josh Donaldson.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that, player-wise, that you're like, get them out?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
But whenever a player I like comes back, like Nestor Cortez, he has 5 innings and then gets injured again and goes back on the 15-day DL.
Yeah, that is crazy. You guys have had some bad injury luck. All right, call it now. Who's winning the World Series? Phillies? Baltimore does it.
Phillies, Orioles.
Phillies, Orioles in the finals, and then you think the Phillies take it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go I'm gonna change my pick. I'm going Braves.
Because as much as I like the Orioles are very young.
Braves, Rangers.
The Orioles also don't have the pitching. Sorry.
That's true.
Braves, Rangers.
Braves, Rangers.
Rangers also don't have the pitching.
They had a lot of pitchers that are situationally good.
Name them. Starters. Almost starters.
Who's healthy pitching on that team?
Exactly.
Yeah, never mind. So then...
It's the Mariners.
The Mariners could get there behind King Felix and Julio Rodriguez.
Because the Rays had a chance until one of their players decided to engage in some sus activities, and then Shane McClanahan got injured.
Yeah. I think it's the Braves. They have it all. They have Spencer Strider. They have the MVP, Ronald Acuna. I think he has too much narrative around him. He has the #1 team and he has the stolen bases.
I understand. I think there's just other... Like, it's not as clear-cut as you think it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of times in most sports, narrative has a lot to do with it. That's why Aaron Rodgers won that MVP over Patrick Mahomes a couple years ago. Even though Patrick Mahomes had lost one game.
Yeah.
And was putting up historical numbers. So everyone was like, oh, but the story behind it. Shut up. That's why, yeah, I think it's the Braves. They have the defense. They have immaculate pitching this year. Yeah. Especially behind strength.
No, I don't disagree. I just didn't want to go with the obvious option. So I'm saying Phillies, Orioles.
Phillies, Orioles.
Phillies take it in 5. Phillies take it in 5.
I will go Braves, Mariners. And then I don't think
the
Braves.
Mariners. I think the Mariners could beat the Orioles. Only because the Mariners have pitching.
All right. That was pretty good. We got that done just over an hour. That was perfect. We nailed the time, dude. All right. Which means you're invited back. Yeah. All right. Well, there's our NFL predictions and our breakdown of the MLB. And our prediction for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those are locked in now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For life.
Yeah. What if the Yankees and the Padres end up getting in and then going to the World Series?
No. Don't even try to get
It's not going to happen. Anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming by. We'll see you next time. And peace. All right. Deuces. Bye. Forever. Just kidding.